Good afternoon, Sava here from Football Heritage TV. Let's have a little dive into the ins and outs at Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. Potential ins and outs, we should say. Today in this video, we are going to talk about Hojbjerg apparently is edging closer to agreeing a deal with Atletico Madrid. And Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa could be the guy to come in and replace him. Or could it be Gallagher? Two very different players, but two Premier League experienced footballers. Plus, we're going to be looking at Cheerio Sanchez. Is he going to Galatasaray? Is he going to Strasbourg? Is he going somewhere else? Let's discuss it all in just a few seconds. Hello, good afternoon. So as the transfer window hots up for many, many clubs, hopefully it's going to start hotting up for Tottenham Hotspur soon. We've had our leader, Big Ange Postecoglou, has said we will get two centre-backs. Obviously, everyone knows who we want it to be, but we're not going to talk about centre-backs today. We've done that to death, and we'll wait and see what happens. But in other news, we're going to talk about potential outgoings as well. Now, it's all a domino effect. Every transfer that happens is a knock on the butterfly effect for other clubs and transfers ins and outs. What do I mean by this? So, Pierre Hojbjerg, it's no secret, has been wanted. Multiple sources have come out with this in the last 3-4 weeks, to be honest, coming out saying ESPN and Sky and Marsa, lots of the big publications and media outlets have said that Atletico Madrid are looking to bolster their midfield options with Hojbjerg. Now, Hojbjerg is a player that when he leaves, I think a lot of people will be upset. A lot of people won't. It's again always a divisive. It's always a divisive opinion within the Spurs fan base. A good player, I would say. No, it's good. Like he's okay. Heart of a lion, works hard. But I can understand why he would be more of a fit for Atletico and why he probably wouldn't be as much of a fit for an Ange Postecoglou football system. Now, if he goes, obviously, we are light on midfielders. Spurs at the moment in central midfield have Bentancur out injured still until what last time I heard was the end of November. We then have Basuma, Maddison, who's more of an attacking midfielder. You've then got Skip and Sarr. Now you can start to chuck Lo Celso and Ndombele in there, but will Postecoglou trust Lo Celso or Ndombele in that two, the initial two? I think he'll trust Lo Celso in the Maddison role. I just don't think he'll trust Lo Celso or Ndombele in a two where you have to work hard, you have to press, you have to tackle, you have to get up and down. I don't think he will. So that means Spurs will need reinforcements in midfield. And the two names that are being bandied about, one is Gallagher. We'll talk on him in a minute. Gallagher has been linked with us now for 2 to 3 weeks. Varying different reports saying it could be anywhere between £30 million and £50 million for the England international. But the one that's come out in the last 24 hours is Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa, the Brazilian central midfielder. Now, of course, Douglas Luiz was subject to a number of Arsenal bids in the last year, but they never got him. However, would Villa be willing to sell him now? Because they've also just gone and added, in the last year, Dendoncker as a midfield option. They've just signed Yuri Tielemans on a free. They've got Cameron Archer. They've got Ramsey. They've got John McGinn. So what will they do? Will they be inclined to let him go? If they were, would they let him go to Tottenham, who, could you say we're now, I don't want to say rivals, but we're now in the same echelons as them in terms of where we are in the league. Now, could have been a one-off season. Villa could go that way. They could go that way. Same with Spurs. But would they sell him to us? What price would it be? He's 25-year-old Brazilian. He's got a lot of Premier League experience now, played over 140 Premier League games for Aston Villa, was at Vasco da Gama in Brazil before he moved to Man City. didn't make a first-team appearance at City before going on loan to Girona. So he's got experience. He's got over 200 league games in his career. He's got 9 caps for the Brazil national team. I think for me, he's a solid Premier League midfielder. I think he works hard, decent on the ball, gets stuck in, good engine. For me, looks like a player that could be good in an Ange system. Would you take Douglas Luiz? I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. What would you do? Would you take Luiz? Part of the squad, first team starter, one of 3 or 4 centre midfielders? What would you pay? What will Villa charge for us? The next player is Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher, another one. This one really divides the opinion. Some people, I say, really like him. They really think he's a top player that was ruined by the inconsistencies of Chelsea last year that didn't allow him to kick on from his really good loan spell at Crystal Palace the year before. Other people just think he's a very average footballer. For me, I think we'll see what he is in the next couple of years. But will that be at Tottenham Hotspur or will that be at Chelsea? Or someone else? The fees, as I said just now, I've seen fees going from he's 30 million. No, he's 50 million. What fee would Conor Gallagher be? What would you pay for him? Is he needed? Now, of course, we all know we need centre-backs. So before everyone screams, just get me centre-backs, I hear you. I agree with you. But for the purpose of this conversation, let's assume we have those centre-backs. How much are you paying for Conor Gallagher? Would you pay for him? Is he overrated? Would his work rate be something that Postecoglou really likes? Conor Gallagher's stats in the last 2 years are that more than any other midfielder, he gets into the box more than any other midfielder to go and join in. And what we've already seen from the first pre-season game is Postecoglou encourages his midfielders to go beyond and get into the box. I'm just putting out theories there. I don't know that for sure. I'm just putting out theories that could work. What would you do? So we've had Hojbjerg possibly going to Atletico Madrid, Gallagher, Douglas Luiz. Thinking of the Chelsea defender. Now the last player, Davinson Sanchez. This has been rumbling on for a good week and a half, 2 weeks now. An initial bid came in from Galatasaray that was €9 million, £7.5 million. Since then, it's been said that Strasbourg are also putting in a bid for the player. Strasbourg taken over by Todd Boehly and his group. So there will be some money behind them there. When will a bid finally come in that Spurs want to accept, and what will that price look like? Unfortunately for him, he seems like a nice guy, but there's no room for sentiment in football, and he's just not quite good enough. We saw the other night that mistake, just a lack of defensive ability that allowed West Ham to go and score their 3rd goal. I think it's all but curtains for Sanchez, and it very much looks like he's going out. What is your thoughts on that? Let me know. Lastly, Lo Celso. Let me know. Lots of people now after a 45-minute cameo, keep him. For me, I'm going to be honest. I don't mind if he stays, but if a bid comes in for Lo Celso and we need money to go and revamp, to re-energize, to evolve, to make this team different, I would take it. What would you do? Please please subscribe. I'll see you all very, very soon. And I'll be back in the next couple of days with the normal content. And on Sunday, I'll be doing a live watch along for the Leicester City game. And then the Spurs review, where Sean and I will be joined by 2 guests Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Please please subscribe. And as always, come on, you Spurs.